How's it going, guys? I'm Theo Joe, and today's video is going to be a list of 10 different really cool tech gifts you can get someone for the holidays or really any time for under $100 that won't break the bank. And this video will have a lot of variety, stuff from $15 all the way up to $100. You get a lot of different ideas, and I don't think I've mentioned any of these gadgets before, so it should be pretty new to everyone. And you might have actually seen my previous video talking about tech gadgets under $50. I'll put a link that can pop up there if you want even more ideas after this. And I made that not too long ago. And of course, I will be putting the links to all these in the description. You can just check them out on Amazon. So let's get started. All right, starting off, number one, this is gonna be great for anyone who remembers the Polaroid days. Remember those, the camera where you took the picture and it spat it out right there, you shook it until it developed? Well, it turns out Polaroid remade that camera and called it the OneStep 2. And it's about $100, a little bit expensive for something that might be just a gimmick, but it does function completely the same as it did before. So this could be good for anyone who's into retro stuff. You know, there may be a hipster or something, or maybe someone who just used to love those Polaroid pictures. It might be good for nostalgia. Either way, I think it is unique enough where pretty much anyone would think it's pretty cool. Okay, next up, number two, we have the Belkin Boost Up Wireless QI charger for about $57. And this is gonna be good for anyone who has a phone that is capable of wireless charging. And especially for the latest iPhones, it's a new feature. Maybe a lot of people don't really have wireless chargers yet. This could be a good option. And being by Belkin, obviously they are a good company, it's reputable, and Apple actually lists this charger on their website as one of the few that's recommended, so you know it's gonna obviously work with the iPhone. And what's also nice about this, whether you're using it on an iPhone or an Android device, it has up to 15 watts of wireless power. That's quite a bit for wireless, and that also means it's gonna support the iPhone's new fast charging capabilities, which is up to 7.5 watts, which was introduced in the latest update 11.2. You will wanna update that. So regularly, you'll just be able to get 5 watts out of the iPhone, and that's what a normal wireless charging pad will probably give you, but you can get about 25% faster if you do have that 11.2 update and you're using a wireless charging pad that is at least 7.5 watts, which this is. And of course, I mentioned this before, I'm a big fan of wireless charging. I don't use it exclusively. You know, if I really want to charge something fast, there's nothing better than plugging it into the wall. However, it's nice for when you don't really care about how fast it is, you're just topping it off, you're putting it down on your desk, or especially at night. You know, you want to go to bed, you don't have to worry about finding the cable, dropping it on the ground or whatever. You just have it on your nightstand, plop it down, it's easy to pick up in the morning, everything like that. It's just convenient. All right, moving on. This one's going to be good for anyone who's into PC gaming. When you're using a mouse, you know how frustrating it can be if you run out of Mousepad. You go to make a big movement and you move it off the Mousepad, you have to stop or whatever, and then you get killed, you know? So I would recommend getting a extra large Mousepad, specifically this one by Glorious PC Gaming Race, for about $15. It's actually one that I've had for a while, and it is nice to just have that large real estate area that you can use as a mouse pad if you want. And if it is too big, of course, you can put the keyboard over part of it. You don't have to use the whole thing as a blank space, and you can put stuff on top of it normal, but it is nice to have that option as having that whole area as a mouse pad. And it's pretty big. I think this one's about 16 by 18 inches, and it's a nice texture that the mouse is just going to completely glide over. So if you know someone who does a lot of gaming and they have a tiny little mouse pad, get them this, and I think they'll appreciate it. They might not even know what they're missing. Number four, this one is gonna be a great gift for anyone who tends to lose their stuff a lot, whether it's their keys, wallet, whatever, and that would be the Tile Bluetooth trackers, specifically this combo pack for about $70, which comes with two different types. It'll come with the Slim and the Tile Mate. And the Slim is basically very thin. It's 2 credit cards thick is what they say, and you put that in your wallet. Whereas the Mate one is a little bit thicker, but it's also smaller, probably better on a keychain. And the idea behind this is very simple. You simply connect it to your phone via Bluetooth with the app, and then if you ever lose it, you can't find it around the house, you can use the app to make it play a loud noise, and then you can go find it. But what is also neat about this and kind of unique is because it's a really popular service, you can actually use the community feature where if you lose something outside of the range of the Bluetooth, then anyone else also using the Tile app, if they happen to pass by it, if you mark it as lost, then that tile will connect to the service and let you know that someone walking by found that device just by being near it. They don't even know it necessarily, and then it'll tell you where that person was when they connected to it, so you can get a better idea of where it is. And also, if you lose it by walking too far away from it from your phone, assuming you have your phone with you all the time, it'll tell you where it disconnected. So you'll at least know where it probably was last seen from you. Of course, if you don't want to get the $70 option for the combo pack, you can get individual ones, so that would be a little bit cheaper. But I think it's pretty neat. It lasts about a year for a battery, although it is not a replaceable battery. You can't recharge it, though they do have a replacement program where you can send it into the company and they'll send it back for a slight discount. So again, this would probably be good for someone who tends to always lose their keys. It should help out with that. All right, next up, this one would be good for anyone who's into plants and gardening or whatever, and that would be the Spigo LED Grow Garden for about $58. And this is pretty neat. It's very simple. It's simply like an enclosure where you put plants and you plant them in the soil in the bottom of the thing, and it has LEDs at the top where it automatically handles all sorts of stuff for growing the plant. So it has a automatic timer, for example, so it'll have a white LED for 8 hours, a purple or fuchsia LED for another 8 hours, and then it'll turn off for the rest of the 8 hours, so that covers the entire day. And then also it has a water reservoir with a meter, so it'll tell you how much water is left in there. So all you have to do is basically plug it in, put water in it, and then it'll grow whatever plants you plant in there. It doesn't look to be that big, so you obviously can't put any huge plants in there, but it still might be nice just as decoration really, or if it's in a place where there's not a lot of sunlight, you don't want to put it near a window, you don't want to have it outside, this could be another option. One thing though you should keep in mind is it does not come with seeds, so unfortunately I don't have any recommendations for what you would want to put in there. Maybe if you read the Amazon reviews, people say what kind of stuff grows well in there, but it doesn't come with seeds, so you'll just have to buy that separately. Okay, what are we up to? Number 6. This next one would probably be good for anyone who's into fitness, maybe they're going on a diet, and that would be the Eatsmart scale, which also does body fat percentage measuring. Now, obviously, if you're buying someone a scale, you kind of have to gauge your relationship with them because they might think, well, what, are you calling me fat? Why are you buying me a scale? You know what I mean? So obviously, you can determine that. But maybe if it's someone who's really into fitness, even weightlifting, it's helpful to know body fat percentage. And also, if they've been saying they're going on a diet, they've been doing really well with it, or maybe it's your spouse and you want to get it for both of you because it does support multiple profiles, so you can put both your information in and track it individually and calculate everything for both of you. The price is about $40, which might be a little bit more for a scale than you're used to, but I personally did get this one, and the reason I think it's probably worth the price is I wanted one that did do body fat percentage and BMI calculations and all that. And I did a bunch of different research beforehand because obviously I wanted one that was pretty accurate. And based on what I was seeing and people doing tests and stuff, this seemed to be among the most accurate. So I think this is a good one that I would recommend, probably worth the price. There are more expensive ones, but this one seemed to be the best bargain for what you get. All right, number 7. This one I think is gonna make some of you scratch your head, like, what kind of gift is that? But bear with me. And that would be the Cable Matters 50-foot Cat 6A Ethernet cable for about $16. And yeah, I know you're thinking, what the heck kind of gift is that? Are you serious? A Cat 6 Ethernet cable as a holiday gift? What? But here's the thing, imagine this. You might know someone who they use wireless and they're all the way upstairs and the router's in the basement or something, and they're always complaining about how bad of a connection they have. Well, now you can solve their problem. I don't know how many times I've had friends who they rely on Wi-Fi, and either it's a bad connection because it's far away or it's just not reliable. And I say, just get a really long Ethernet cable, but they don't want to do it. And yeah, it might not be practical to run a Ethernet cable through your house the whole way, but it would be nice at least to have the option for maybe days where the Wi-Fi is really acting up, or you're downloading something and you want it to have the maximum speed because it's going to take a while, or maybe you're playing a match that's really important online and you absolutely do not want to lose that internet connection. you can get this super long cable and just hardwire it. And if they do need a super long cable, even longer, they do sell about a 100-foot cable for $25, really not that much more expensive. And the reason you want to get a Cat 6A cable as opposed to Cat 5, which is kind of old, is Cat 6A is one of the latest standards. It's going to have better shielding, which means it's going to support the more reliable connection over a longer distance, which is more important at such a long cable, 50 to 100 feet. And also, because it is a newer standard, it's going to have a larger bandwidth capacity at around 500 something hertz. So that is actually going to support up to 10 gigabit. It's going to future-proof it. Obviously, most people probably do not have a 10 gigabit port on either side of the connection, so you won't be able to use it. But who knows, maybe if you upgrade your computer down the line, you can keep using this cable for a long time. And if you do want to know a little bit more about different types of cables, there's Cat 5, Cat 6, even Cat 7 upcoming. I did make another video explaining the differences, did a couple tests with different ones, if you want to check that out as well. Of course, don't click away from this video, you can queue that up for later. Okay, moving on to number 8, we have the Gourmia electric tea maker for about $100. And it's a automatic tea maker, which I thought just looked really cool. The idea is pretty simple. You put the tea leaves in the little basket, and it pretty much handles everything from the heating up the water to the brewing, and then you just get to drink it. One of the things I liked about this is it seems to have a bunch of different settings. So you can have light, medium, and strong brew strengths, and you can actually have different settings apparently for different types of tea, like oolong tea, black tea, white tea, whatever. So you can pretty much customize it however you want. And apparently it even does coffee as well. So it pretty much does whatever you want. And it's all automatic, like I said, and it's loose leaf, which means you don't have to use tea bags or anything, or pods or pre-made stuff. You buy the leaves yourself from wherever you want, you put it in the little basket, and it brews it and does everything for you. So this could be good for anyone who's into tea and maybe they do it all manually right now, or even someone who's into coffee and maybe they don't really know much about tea. This would allow you to not only give them a cool coffee maker, but also give them a way to kind of experiment with tea a little bit. It doesn't have to be just tea. All right, coming near the end, we got a couple more. Number 9 is the LED unfolding book light for about $42. And it's basically just a really cool looking light that unfolds like a book. It's almost like an origami type design thing. And you can put it in all sorts of different shapes. And I just think it looked cool again, like the previous thing. But what's also neat is it has a magnetic base. So you can actually kind of hang it on something like a fridge or, I don't know, a wall. And you can also connect the bottom and stand it up vertical if you want, almost like a circle. It might seem a little bit expensive, but I think this is kind of generic. You can probably find other ones that do the same thing, maybe for a little bit cheaper on Amazon. But it does last 6 to 8 hours on battery, and it charges with USB, so it seems to be pretty good quality at least. All right, finally, number 10. This one's actually really unique, pretty awesome. I'm surprised I didn't know this thing existed before, and that would be the Wi-Fi Endoscope camera, which costs about $37. Now you're thinking, what the heck is this? But it's actually really neat. It's like a camera on a stick that's malleable. So if you've ever lost something behind a counter, or I don't know, you have a car or a machine or something that's broken on the inside and you need to see inside, you can use this thing, which is a camera on a stick that you stick in and move it around and see what's going on inside something. It's got a 2 megapixel camera, so it has HD resolution, and it's got LED lights on the front, so you can see what's going on, nice and bright, and it connects via Wi-Fi to your phone. You connect directly to it as a Wi-Fi hotspot, so it does work on any device, whether it's an iPhone or an Android phone. I do think they have Windows software as well. And it's pretty long as well. It's like 11 feet. That's super long. I don't know why you would need that, but hey, it's there. And it's IP67 water resistant, so you can stick it in water if you want. Not too deep, obviously. I think it's down to like a meter. But what I think is also really cool is it comes with some different tools that you stick on the end of it. So you can stick a hook on there, or a mirror, or even a magnet, and that goes along with the camera, so you can keep looking at the stuff while you're using these tools. So if something's stuck, you can see what you're doing and maybe get it out of there. So that's pretty cool. For 37 bucks, I think it's a great deal, to be honest, and it's super unique. I don't think a lot of people know this thing even exists, but I can think of a few times where this could have really come in handy. So I think that's it. Those are 10 really cool tech gifts under 100 bucks. Hopefully you thought these are pretty unique and interesting and didn't know too many of these already. So if you did like this video, let me know what you think down in the comments, especially if you have any other suggestions for cool stuff I forgot about. If you want to keep watching, I'll put some other videos right here. You can just click on those. And if you want to subscribe, I make new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And also consider enabling notifications by clicking the bell, or else YouTube's algorithm might not even show you new videos, even if you do subscribe. Keep that in mind. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.